Ramblin Man here. Okay, so I was just looking online and I noticed certain things that I wanted to just address because that's what I do. I ramble. And one of the things is, while I was sitting there, I was looking at what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in this world today, but one of those is, and I'm sure you saw the whole Mark Cuban not wanting to do the national anthem anymore, and then the NBA coming back and saying, well, you have to do the national anthem. And how that turns out, I don't know. But I started thinking about the national anthem and looking at it, and I started thinking, a lot of people probably don't even know about the national anthem. I mean, it was written, in 1812 when the British were bombing the fort, okay? And once it was written, it really didn't do much after that. They put the music and everything, but it was not our national anthem from that point forward. It didn't happen before that. It was like, y'all know the song, My Country 'Tis of Thee. There was that song and then a couple others that were our national anthem for a little while till this one came along. In 1916, I believe it was, like Woodrow Wilson had made it the national anthem for all the armed forces. So, where now we have the Army goes marching along and everything else for each branch. Well, that was their national anthem, was what is our now the Star Spangled Banner. In 1931, it was officially made the national anthem. Now, I started thinking about, there's been a lot of people talk about, well, it's just when people were kneeling to the national anthem, and like I said, that started with sports and everything, and how it was so disrespectful, and this is just my opinion, okay? So take it with a grain of salt. It is my opinion. There's lots of opinions. Everyone has a different one. And it's like my coach used to say, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. They all stink. No, not really. He didn't say that. He was talking about excuses. But same difference. Everyone's opinion is different. And that's okay. That's what's great about America. We get to live in these United States of America, and we get to say what we want to say. I don't want to ever lose that. I don't want to lose our freedom of speech, because right now we're in a place where we can say whatever we want to say without fearing that our government's going to shut us down, or like in China, people disappear for saying something against the government. We can say whatever we want to say as long as we're not threatening people or our actions are speaking differently. I do not want to lose that. So one thing is that like I said, this is my opinion. If you are a soldier and you lost your legs overseas, and that national anthem came on, and every time that it came on, you were able to stand, but this one time you can't stand. You're in a wheelchair. You're unable to stand. That would be one of those things that would be heart-wrenching, because you put your life on the line. You fought behind that flag, beside your brothers and sisters, and you're willing to die for them, and they're going to die for you too. They would die. I know as soldiers, you sign on for a bigger purpose. It's selfless, and that means that I would die for you, even if you're the biggest piece of crap there is, because as an American, but it's just grace alone that you are allowed to have the life you have and say the things you want to say and degrade the things you want to degrade. So in my opinion, when an athlete was kneeling, that was disrespectful to me. Some people don't feel that way. And I understand the idea of also going through and, doing it to make a point. But there could have been just different ways of doing that. Because what I feel like was that was a start of something, and the Black Lives Movement started, and what happened with that, I feel like somewhere, and I'm all about equality. I have a lot of black friends, Mexican friends. I'm half Mexican, half white anyway. So, but I mean, we're a melting pot in the United States. No one, everybody talks about immigrants, we're all immigrants. There's no one that was here except for the Native Americans. There was no one here before us. We all came in, and There's talk about slavery and looking back. We cannot forget our history. You have to remember the slaves came over with their owners, which it just appalls me. But you see crazy things nowadays. You talk about, in different countries and the warring tribes, and one tribe feeling like the other one is insufficient and complete genocide. These are things that happen in today's world. We don't deal with that here because of our freedoms. But you have to remember the slaves came over with the British. How did people get slaves? Because warring tribes in Africa would sell them. God's people were slaves. Slavery's been around forever, and it will be forever, because you'll never be able to eradicate it all. So we need to start getting along and realize that love one another, be kind to one another, and just remember that flag and that national anthem, they stand for something. There's people that died, and that's the last thing they heard, and that's the last thing they remember is seeing that flag. If you don't want to get behind that, I think it's time for you to leave. Canada might take you, they might not. But maybe this isn't the place for you. But I'm just telling you right now, if that national anthem comes on and that flag's flying, stand up, be proud. This America, we are the best country in the world. Don't you ever forget that. Ramblin Man out.